Hello, friends. It's been a couple of years, probably, since I last did anything control-related on the channel. But I was looking at my PlayStation 5 library and realised the Control Ultimate Edition, that's the bathroom, that's not where I want to go. The Control Ultimate Edition is on PS Plus, whatever it is, and it's the Ultimate Edition with all the DLC and stuff included. And whilst I technically also have that stuff... Oh, interesting, it's got us with our jacket on. Whilst I do actually have that stuff on the Epic Games Store, I've just been playing the PS5 version for fun and profit and trophies, arguably. But then I realised, well, I can do the extra content, can't I? And I can record that and you know, finally get around to playing it. So there's the Foundation DLC, and there is the AWE DLC. I'm just going to put the graphics on, settings on for this section.
Even if it was a dream, I feel Darling reached out to me through the hotline.
Yes.
I have a feeling he and Trench won't be the only callers from the beyond.
Yeah, it bumps it down to 30 FPS, but just for this section at least, I like the ray trace reflections on the glass. Because I'm very, very basic like that. Very basic indeed. We demand your attention, / moxie. Oldest house is in danger. We opened the door / tree in maintenance. Hurry, post haste.
Problem in the Foundation. That was Ahti's vacation spot. We need to check this out.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, there is a noticeable difference in terms of how the game actually runs when it comes to putting the graphics quality mode on. Sadly, it would be nice if there was an option that was a little bit better. You know, kind of an in-between option. Where am I and where am I going? I always get really lost in the oldest house, probably because the map is terrible. My one critique of this game, well, to be fair, I've got quite a few critiques of this game, but my biggest critique of the map, of the game, is the map. I just don't think the map's very good. It'd be nice if there were ways of toggling up and down levels and stuff, but there isn't. What was that interactable? Oh, a radio. Oh, that reminds me, actually, while I think about it, let's mute copyrighted music on for while I'm recording, because there was a bit of an issue with that in the main game. I love the fact that they give you the option of doing so. Have I got any new outfits? Nah, we'll stick with our basics. Okay, so we're going to maintenance and the restricted area, which I'm assuming Foundation will work for us, because that's the name of the DLC.
Dark, quiet, trans-dimensional. This place really suits Ahti. So that etching is the door. Okay, let's try opening it.
Is this a good idea? One. Oh, geez, that's bright. Sprint is useful both in and out of combat. Yes, it is. Foundation.
No time for sightseeing. The board said this was an emergency.
I'm totally going to sightsee, though. So, just before things kick off, if you've seen any of my Returnal playthrough, you know that whilst I very much love PlayStation 5 controller, I'm not very good at third-person shooters. Fortunately, Control has an absolute suite of accessibility options for that, so I'm using them.
Looks like no one's been down
I've got
here in a
aim
while.
snapping on, I've got aim assist on, and I'm still bad. But I'm playing it for the story. This is very cool looking. You know, even without ray tracing on. Uh-oh. Just have a quick look-see, actually. Yeah, see, there's such a noticeable drop in frame rate, because I think it caps it at 30. Oh. Well, that's good. Your save data was restored due to corruption? Yes, I must admit, Control is the only game that's crashed for me on the PS5. That's like the third, I think, maybe time it's crashed.
The crystals are kind of pretty. Emily would be having a field day down here.
Yes, she would. The thing that always struck me about Control was the way that things build and grow and are constructed in engine. I mean, the ashtray maze sequence was a standout for how the environment moved around you. But, you know, those crystal formations growing out of the rock, it wasn't just like a static object that was just kind of clipped through.
My life's been a strange one. Certainly stranger than I'd like. But this place, it's something.
What's that light?
The floors crawl, the walls slither. It's a shifting pit. On the street, it's just another drab building standing there for anyone to see. But no one does.
Yes. What is that light?
Evidence that I'm at least
Ooh.
trying to understand.
I thought it had finished. It had not.
Father searched his entire life for something like this, and we find it 1 week after he's buried. He always hated irony. Of course, Father, the great director, Ash, would have been the first man in. And look at me, his bookworm son, the supposed head of research who can't stop his legs from shaking long enough to step over the threshold.
Director Ash. So is this is from a long time ago then, I am assuming?
The foundation. Bottom of the oldest house. Stop the hiss.
Marshall? How was she on the hotline? Unless she's dead. Jesus. She seemed like the kind of woman who could survive anything.
Oh yes, because Marshall disappeared, didn't she, in the main storyline? I'd forgotten. Well, I say forgotten in the sense that I've literally just played through the game again, or the base game, on the PS5. It's like, oh yeah, she does disappear. What?
Just found their way down here too, huh?
Blip. Yes, no massive surprise that the Hiss have found their way down here. I think the game wants us to go that way. So naturally, I'm going to look over here first. Ah. Can't get enough height. We can't walk on the walls. Maybe we're coming back round. Do we have a map? Oh, we do have a map. Doesn't look like we are coming around. Maybe there's new power. I've no idea. I know nothing about the DLC. I kind of forgot about them. And it was literally only because I was playing this through and realised that I got the Ultimate Edition. Like, oh yeah, DLC, I should probably get around to it. Punk! Oh, you didn't die from that. I'm sure I've got a Seize mod equipped, and yet I'm not using it. It's very much how I rock and roll in this game. I really like the lighting. I know a lot of people complain that it's very kind of washed out. Huh. Interesting. That's kind of... Do I need to use some kind of explosive? Okay, it was explosive enough to hurt me from there, but not explosive enough to actually break the rocks. Well, guess we'll come back for that.
Those paintings look old.
Certainly do.
Old.
Thank you, Jesse. That was remarkably descriptive. That's the pyramid. Oh, look. This quarry seems to be going directly into the astral plane. At first I thought the cave painting in the foundation chronicled ancient humans' encounters with natural occurrences like weather, but it soon became clear they depicted events far outside the average human experience. Dr. Theodore Ash, head of research, by order of director Broderick Northmore. We've heard about Northmore, former director. Disappeared and was replaced, I think, by what's his face? Also, it seems I was wrong to assume the images are ancient. Radiocarbon dating suggests something impossible, that I've been down here longer than the paintings. That's absurd, though. The style and medium clearly indicate a Paleolithic origin. I was ready to conclude that an ancient community of humans lived in or around the oldest house. Now, with this information, I don't know what to think. Is one of our agents drawing these? Was there someone down here with us? This place has a habit of skewing my results, so perhaps the data is corrupted. Or perhaps some paintings were created at different times. The art does seem to chronicle not only the past, but also the present and possibly even the future. I see in them echoes of the board, some linear architecture, even what could be interpreted as a director. Are the paintings telling a story that's still being written? If so, who is writing it? And this is why I loved Control as a story. You know, the gameplay was cool, the graphics were impressive, the soundtrack was excellent, but most importantly, I really liked the storytelling in the game. Oh, hi friends. Hey, you're a new enemy type.
Pickaxes now.
So are they influenced by... I guess they're influenced by the surroundings? This is very red. Like Martian red. His sharpened. His sharpened agents display the ability to rapidly move short distances. This ability is unique in the fact that it's not associated with any known object of power. However, we should not discount the possibility that this ability is an object variation. For example, abrupt physical relocation could potentially be a variant of the jukebox's effects. Other explanations of his sharpened ability currently include time manipulation, increasing physical speed, inhibiting the witness's sense of sight. If we do accept that the Hiss sharpened ability is not connected to a known object of power, then the Hiss are either manifesting unique paranatural abilities, or there are objects in the house that we aren't aware of. Either way, the Hiss are continuing to develop new strains of corruption, and that is cause for concern. Tom, you missed the good news. I'm sure the official memo will go out soon, but Northmore called an all-hands at the crossroads to announce we're finally moving out of this hellhole and up into the house proper. Bureau brass apparently solved the moving walls problem, at least figured out a way to pinpoint where and when they happen. All I know is going up means goodbye darkness, goodbye weird lunches with the ex-Nazi scientist, and goodbye pissing into the pits. I know that was you, Barry. Northmore's ordering the Foundation sealed as soon as we can haul our stuff out and somehow convince Ash to come with us. He's the only one kicking up a fuss. This is long overdue. We've lost 11 men and damn near $10,000 in supplies moving between the entrance and the Foundation. And for what? Research? Ash is batty if he thinks we want to stay here and sift through more sand for him. It's just rusted iron flakes anyway. Did you know that? We're breathing that shit in. So this is from when the Bureau first moved into the oldest house, which was in the 60s? Wasn't it? Or was it the 30s? One of the two. 19-somethings. Beware of dangerous toxic geysers. Geysers. If only I could have left... Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Ooh. A passageway. Huh. No, see... Actually, hold on. Is this the same passageway as before? No, it can't be. No, it's a different passageway. Just happens to have the same kind of formation. Cut and paste terrain. Final Fantasy 1.0 wants... Final Fantasy 14 1.0 wants a word. I kid. There we go. You have to hold the button down. Mr. Wilder, I have some bad news. You remember that Robot Ricardo fella we brought in as a special consultant to map the lower caves? Well, today he found a chamber with weird eyes covering every inch of the walls and a strange black pillar in the centre. Kind of looks like the one at the crossroads, but smaller. We had a Bureau member shadowing him, but whatever happened in there did a number on our guest. The docs are taking a look, but it's pretty clear Mr. Adventure's exploring days are over. I know we were careful to limit this guy's exposure to the non-ordinary. Drugging him and carrying him to the upper floor was a real hoot, by the way. But we really need to re-evaluate our policies on external contractors. Honestly, we'd be better off forming a special division trained in rappelling and orienteering than subjecting more outsiders to the shit we deal with. They almost always end up dead. Or loony. Yeah, so this is about the early days. So, while the DLC is called Foundation, and I assumed it was just about the foundations of the building, it's actually about the foundation of the Bureau. As in the founding of. That looks like we're going to be able to get through it at some point. It's very white. Oh!
The astral plane is cutting into our dimension. What if this happens in the upper floors? It'll destroy the Bureau.
Yeah. Do not want. I feel like he's not so much bugged, but he's not reacting as much as he would do. Research and records astral copy. Astral copy, you say? With the astral plane now physically accessible, a torrent of new information has been collected on the entities known as astral copies. The copies' bodies are composed of a dense stone-like material that is both resilient under controlled circumstances and brittle when struck with significant force. Oh yeah, these are the things that we that we do in the tutorial bits and pieces. Whether the astral copies possess individual consciousness or are directed by a higher intelligence such as the board remains unknown. However, their shared aggression seems to indicate a unified goal. Director Faden's encounters with these entities when binding objects of power in the astral plane indicate they serve as live targets for potential power to practice on. Paratiliterians. No idea. Some have been equipped with Bureau weaponry, though it seems unlikely they were armed by our personnel. It is important to note that they appear immune to Hiss corruption. Ooh.
I wish I'd brought Emily with me. I could really use my head of research right about now.
Crossroads. Randomly floating speck of something. So the crossroads, they said, they've got...
Marshall! You're alive!
Or is she? Something tells me...
Wait! It's Jesse! The director!
Generally speaking, running after somebody, shouting their name and them not turning around is not necessarily a good sign. Oh. Okay.
Whoa. This place is huge.
So
Marshall?
that's the black
Can you hear me?
pillar that was...
She was on the hotline, so that person couldn't have been Marshall, right? One problem at a time. Let's see what's going on with that pillar first.
Investigate the nail. Kill nails before we get hellfired. The hotline's a connection to the astral plane, though, so it could very well have been Marshall calling in backup from here. Ley lines. For all my research into the oldest house's ley lines, I still don't understand why they converge here at the base of this pillar. I suppose the simplest reason is that they have to converge somewhere, Occam's razor and all that. But that seems wrong. The esoteric world abhors coincidence. So what is the true relationship between this pillar and the ley lines? Does it act as a magnet attracting them? Polar north? Or is the pillar a product of their focused energies? A sprout nourished by the constant flow of the oldest house's power? Perhaps classifying that power would provide some insights. However, we currently have no means of measuring or quantifying it. Given time, it may become possible to collect and even harness this energy. On that note, Northmore is bringing in the much-lauded Dr. Gustav Wagner from headquarters in DC to aid my research. I suppose this is his way of saying he doesn't trust me to work unsupervised. Let's just hope Dr. Wagner is as smart as his dearly departed Führer once believed him to be. Yeah, so we're going... This would be the 40s. So, yeah, was it the 50s? 50s and 60s? I can't remember. Wom. Okay, first of all, let's check these buildings. Because there's usually goodies. I love how unstable a lot of the structures are in this game. It's always entertained me. It's like they've done a really good job of everything being movable and breakable, but there is a slight issue with things not having weight to them.
It's been 5 days since we first entered the building. Traversing the interior is dangerous due to the shifting, but we did manage to find a lower cavern that seems structurally predictable, which is a scientific way of saying its walls won't crush us in our sleep. Northmore even made a discovery. A pistol placed on a stone pedestal in front of that strange ebony pillar. Seems like something out of a storybook, except the heroes usually find swords, not handguns.
Yeah, but the sword is the pistol is Excalibur.
For someone like him. Hours after finding this weapon, Northmore cornered me to spout some nonsense about how the board had made him the director. He ranted about the title being meaningless before now, calling Father and all other previous directors shams, frauds, and worse. I think this place is worse for Northmore than it is for me. Strangest thing? There was no pedestal in front of that pillar a day ago. This building has swallowed a dozen of my men, and now it's handing out presents? Is it playing some sort of game? If it is, we're most certainly losing. Hell, we don't even know the rules.
So that's how the first proper director became the director. I mean, we've got the service or weapon. I can't remember where it was that it was very strongly hinted, or maybe even just outright said that this is essentially Excalibur that we're using. On the nature of the pillar. The pillar found in the crossroads is best described as an onyx spike that protrudes from the cave floor like an imposing stalagmite. Despite its aggressive silhouette, the structure has an undeniable even allure. Freud would certainly have something to say about the pillar's overly erect nature, but I'm more drawn to Whitmore's essay on dynamic layers, structures within structures, the fractal mirror in every being. Given its significant location, I believe the pillar is either the very heart of the oldest house, or an intrusion within that heart. Or perhaps it's like the husk of a seed from which the oldest house sprouted. Trottier wrote the great architecture isn't built, it grows. But then, why does the pillar look so different from the rest of this place's concrete walls and rocky caverns? It's easier to see it as an anomaly, a buried artifact, a foreign body, a demonic phallus. I wonder if this pillar is any more welcome here than we are. And this is why I like the storytelling in this game. Yes, a lot of it is through reports and notes and stuff. But it's just so vague and weird. Repair the nail/link to prevent astral consumption collision. This is the director's duty/plots. Authorised for a single new tool/upgrade. Use it to save the Foundation Us Bureau. Oh?
So I can only choose one? I thought I was done with these tests.
Huh. Choose the Astral Plane challenge. So that seems to give us the ability to break rock. And this seems to give us the ability to extrude rock. Right/weapon will grant fracture/undo. Left/self will grant shape/manipulate. The game has not given us a choice before. Let's go with the gun. Okay. Yeah, so that blocks that off. Okay. Minerals / roots / barnacles. Use the new ammo casing to demolish weed whack. You should feel honoured / handled. Okay, so this has given us the ability to just break. That's why they've got the growy tech. Because, as it says, things regrow after destruction. One assumes I don't want to be in the way when that happens. Oh, that's cool. What happens when these regrow, though? Well, I suppose it's only for certain bits, isn't it? Loosen the 4 locks keys / MacGuffins. Astral bleeding has spread. Lost them. Do this in an hour. Will be repaired, glued, crisis averted. Hiss up present in the foundation. Snooping is forbidden. Guess I'm going up. Yes. This material looks really, really cool with the ray tracing on, but I'm not doing it at 30 FPS. Lure enemies onto crystal walkways, then destroy the crystal. Well, that worked. Come over here, mate. Is he gonna? Guess not. They're invincible, so ooh. There we go. Oh, that's the aim assist actually being a little bit too good. Hold on, let's just turn that off. I forgot that was still on. Oh. Come on. There we go. That might actually explain why I've been having some issues. Sweet. New power.
Okay, let's review. This broken pillar is called the nail.
Yes.
It was broken by something, and now the astral plane is bleeding into the foundation, which will destroy the oldest house, the bureau, and everyone inside. I need to find 4 locks, or keys, or whatever, to stop that from happening. But I'm the director. I've handled worse.
True.
This should be simple. Ish.
Ish.
You with me?
fight. The nail.
Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.